Compared to the same time last year, the general development of outward investment is sound and healthy, featured by, first of all, an increase in the Belt and Road countries. January this year, Chinese enterprises invest in 33 countries of the Belt and Road Initiative, up by 8.1%. The newly signed project and contract volume reached 401,000 USD. The revenue amounted to 420,000 USD, accounting for 52%. The total investment mixture is also being more diversified, and it goes to mainly leasing and service, manufacture, wholesale and retail, as well as architecture, accounting for 26%, 21%, 11%, and 10% respectively. And those goes to service industry, accounts for it's up by 29%, accounting for 67%, and irrational investment is being curbed. And third is cross-sector merger is also going as planned, and total M&A projects amounted to 30, locating in 18 countries worldwide, and mainly in manufacture and other 10 industries. And total contract volume amounted to 1.3 billion USD. In terms of industrial structure, manufacture, leasing, commercial service, IT, software are among the top. 4 is contracted volume has some major improvements. The contracted volume has a lot of big projects, and the total number is 36, and accounting for 83%. There are 13 projects with a contract volume of more than 100 million, mainly in transportation, petroleum, and transport. Transport, electricity, as well as architecture accounts for 73% of the total investment, mainly contributing to the improvement of infrastructure in the hosting country. In January, the authorities also have authorized a lot of license to the companies, and the more than 400 companies have been authorized to carry out foreign investment and M&A, as well as financial services. The total contract volume amounted to 440 million USD. The second announcement is about the internet retail market of January this year. In 2018, our market, our e-commerce continues to expand. The retail volume online is up by 25%, and contributing about 45% to percentage point, up by 7.3% compared to last year. And also, the structure has been more diversified, and there is more O2O improvement, and the quality is also greatly augmented. In 2018, the e-commerce retail market has the following characteristics. First, the quality of retail continues to improve, which promotes consumption upgrading. The quality is improved, which has given more drivers to consumption upgrade. According to big data, B2C model accounts for 62%, which is up by 4.4 percentage point compared to last year. Smartwatch, smartphones, as well as translation machines, sales has been greatly increased. Cosmetics and food and drinks and furnitures are also up by 36%, 33%, and 30% respectively. Second, agriculture e-commerce is being strengthened by a large margin. According to big data of the MOFCOM, in 2018, the total retail volume amounted to 137 million USD, and the total retail volume online amounted to 207 billion USD. E-commerce has become a major method for poverty alleviation. Under the guidance of MOFCOM, there is a Poverty Alleviation Alliance joined by many major e-commerce tycoons and help the farmers to improve their branding, the quality, as well as sales of the products. Third, social media and its combination with the e-commerce has become a new driving force in 2018. We see an uprising of more small programs and some new business models being created. According to statistics, the user amounted to 170 million, satisfying the demands of the customers on multiple levels. In terms of encouraging and vitalize the need in small cities as well as rural areas, we have done a lot. We have made a lot of improvement. Fourth is ecosystem contribution has become a new highlight in 2018. We see more, and we see the margins of service e-commerce providers, e-commerce service providers that connects convenience stores, market, and malls, so that fresh vegetables and meat, as well as fast delivery service, are connected into a complete ecosystem. According to our statistics, the scale is up by 45%. Five is cross-border e-commerce, especially in terms of Silk Road e-commerce. According to the statistics of the customs in 2018, the total import and export e-commerce cross-border is 137 billion USD, and we have conducted mechanism with UAE and some other countries, making new events to help these industries to expand global marketing. We also work with Cambodia, Austria, and many other global partners. That's all I want to say at this point, and now the floor is open to questions. Thank you. I'm with Phoenix TV. My question goes to you about the trade talks with the U.S. So is it possible for us to reach a consensus as soon as possible, and will the talk continue if not? Thank you for the question. As far as I'm concerned, the working group from China and the U.S. began their work on the 19th, and a high-level talk will be carried out from the 21st to 23rd, and on top of our achievement of last talk, we'll continue to deepen the dialogue. And the teams are carrying out very intensive discussions in order to, based on the consensus of the two leaders, to reach a final agreement. As far as for the progress of the talks, it will not be revealed until after the talks are completely finished. Now, please, next question. And with Economic Daily, I compared the statistics that we found that in January this year, we see a slight downward trend when it comes to the outward investment and outward project. So what are the reasons? In January this year, we see a slight decrease in terms of outward investment. According to analysis, the reasons might be multifold. First is some of the institutions have a relative negative perspective of the economic situation this year. And also, the second reason is that last year we have some major projects. For example, in January last year, we see a lot of investment in mining, amount to about 370 million, but this year it's only 555 million, which is down by about 80%. But if you compare this, the numbers in other sectors, you will see a lot of improvement and increase. Despite the shrinking of the scale, but the quality and efficiency has actually been improved. Thank you, and next question. Thank you. I'm with CMG. My question goes to service sector. Last year, we've been hitting historical high in terms of this, in terms of service industry trade. So what are our plans this year? What are the measures that's to be taken? Thank you for the question. This year, top of the achievement of last year, we will improve we continue to streamline the process. First, to expand our traditional advantages, especially when it comes to service outsourcing. We will issue guidelines and measures to increase positive incentive and to give more momentum to the development of service sector, and also to improve the industrial chain and service quality, and find new highlights for export. To give more momentum to R&D, testing, and maintenance. These are new models in terms of service trading in order to further improve our situation in the industrial chain and service chain of the global service industry. Third is to create a supporting policy system for service trade in terms of surveillance as well as supporting policies. We will work with our major partners, especially the Belt and Road countries, to create intergovernmental mechanisms to create an open, transparent, and mutually beneficial international cooperation environment to improve more cooperation between businesses. Thank you. Next question. Thank you. And with Hong Kong business, we noticed that the State Council has proposed that under the SIP framework, we will encourage HK and Macau enterprises to enjoy better competitive environment in the mainland. So can you specify on those on those measures, and what are the industry that will be further opened up to HK companies. The building of the Yuegang economic zone is constructed under the guidance of General Secretary Xi Jinping for this zone to play a better role and to better integrate Hong Kong and Macau into our strategic scheme, a strategic framework. We will be carrying out efforts in the following aspect. First is to further improve the connections of mainland and Hong Kong and Macau policies. Right now, under the CEPA framework, we have a special group dedicated to the construction of the special zone, and this mechanism will be playing a bigger role in the future. And in order to support the development of commerce in this zone. And second is that through CEPA framework, we will continue to encourage the exchanges of products, personnel, funds, capital, and resources. In CEPA agreement, we have a chapter specially dedicated to the special zone, special Gulf zone. One of them stated that we will encourage the development of service trading in the Gulf area. And third is to help us to jointly promote the Belt and Road Initiative, encouraging Macau and Hong Kong to connect with countries along the Belt and Road, expand their global reach, and take their products, their facilities, standard testing, and managerial experiences outside, so that the Gulf area can become an important supporting zone for Belt and Road. And fourth is coordination. In business, we will support the development of the Gulf area on multiple fronts, including the Guangdong Free Trade Zone and Macau Forum. And work in all of these areas will be further strengthened in order to build this area into an area that can further help us to expand better to the world and participate in global economic competition. Thank you. Thank you. With China News Network, we noticed that the EU has conducted anti-dumping on the steel products of China. So what are your comments on this action? We noticed that February the 15th, the EU announced the anti-dumping investigation against China's steel products. And it stated some of the, we noticed that this report is not accurate, and also it is not in line with the WTO rules. This investigation has no base in legal footing, has no legal footing, and we will be following closely on the movements and update of this matter. It claims that Chinese steel product might hinder the European steel product, which is completely ungrounded and unfounded. But actually, our market is developing very sound, and the total business and production situation is quite sound. We are not the major exporter of this product, but the major supplement to European market, so will not jeopardize the European market. This kind of anti-dumping investigation will add more uncertainty to the market and hinder the interest of the European customers. We are against any measures that abuse world trade rules. Hopefully, they can abide by WTO rules and be more prudent on this matter so as not to affect the normal trade and relations between these two sides. We will be following closely and keep updates on this matter and safeguard the legitimate right of the Chinese companies. With Reuters, still about China-U.S. trade talks, we come to notice that both sides are focusing on six points memo. Memorandums of Understanding MOU, and also they're studying how China can reduce its surplus against the U.S. in terms of trade, and also the purchase of energy as well as semiconductor products. So what are your comments about the specific matters of the MOU? I do not have more information at this point. If there is more information, we will make public release at a timely fashion. I'm with French FP. They're saying that you will begin to restrict the import of coal from Australia. For example, the Dalian Group has cancelled all orders of coal orders from Australia. So why do you take this kind of measures? Thank you for the question. Sorry, I do not have relevant information about your question. Other questions?
Bloomberg. I have two questions, or one question about the trade talks. The first one is, would any concessions that China agrees with the U.S. also be applied to other nations? You know, if there's anything that impacts on the most favored nations, tariff status, for example, the nations, or is it purely the results would be about bilateral trade? And there's been a lot of talk that President Xi will have to meet with President Trump to do the final deal. President Trump said that, you know, in the end, he's going to have to meet with President Xi to finalize any trade deal. When do you think that could actually happen, considering that Liang Hui is coming up soon? You know, there's also a number of talks being planned for European-China meetings in March and April. When do you think President Xi could actually meet with the President of the U.S.? Thank you.
您好，两个关于中美贸易谈判的问题。第一个问题是，如果中美双方达成了任何协议的话，这些协议是双边之间生效，还是会对其他的国家也生效？尤其是涉及到中国对美国的一些开放的措施。第二个问题是说，现在有消息称，习近平主席可能会，贸易谈判的最后可能需要习近平主席和特朗普总统会面才能够达成最后的协议。那么，请问您看这个消息是不是什么时候？就是如果是属实的话，那习近平主席可能在什么时候会和特朗普总统会面？因为可能目前两会也很快就要开了。谢谢。
Thank you for your questions. First question about the trade talks. As I mentioned, these details of the talks, if we have the latest information, we will make them. We will make press briefings. And the second question actually should be answered by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Further questions? If no question, that concludes today's press conference. Thank you all for attending.